Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In today's video, we're going to review the NRL Fantasy um, and probably also cover the Sportsdeck team just to get through the reviews a bit quicker after round 8. So if I quickly switch back, you'll see we scored 883, which got us in the top 4,000 for the round, which is a really good result. And push our rank back up towards the top 20k, so 21 and a bit overall. I'll just go back to the trade view or the current round view, I suppose. So Harry Grant 77. Um, that's what we expect from him. That's really great score. Brandon Smith with the 60. So I hadn't actually looked at his score before now. Sort of attention was drawn to other parts of this team, to be fair. But yeah, that's really nice. That's I guess what we were hoping to get from him. So um, glad we held on to him this long. Isaiah Yeo 71, brilliant. Cam Murray 47's a little bit on the disappointing side, but he's a gun. With no need to stress there. Jacob Preston 53. He's just punching out 50s for fun. Jackson Ford 40, even though he scored a try. I know they don't count for as much in NRL Fantasy, but was expecting a little bit more from him. But in saying that, his break even's probably still quite good. I've got the website up this time. Ford, yeah, 29's not the greatest, but that's fine. He's doing the job. The halves, so Cleary 63, Hines 72. So got the call right in NRL Fantasy with Hines the captain. But they're both blocks, so we're not stressed there. Joey Manu with a 70, so we bought him in for Val Holmes and he delivered, which is fantastic. Lemuelu 48, so getting some good returns from him too. Named on the edge this week with Bromwich and Kafusi back, so great signs for Lemuelu going forward. Can really bank on his points there in the centre spot. Then I guess again the disappointing part of this team and can never seem to get right is the wing fullback slot. So Campbell's been back demoted to the bench, so he's going to go this week for sure. Warbrick 22, but he's on the bye this week with the Storm, so we need to navigate that. Nickel Clockstad 33, but did get concussed and is going to miss this week, so not ideal, but that's fine. Uh, Damien Cook 50, yep, solid work from Cookie as always. Crossland 38, so he's not setting the world on fire, but we didn't need him to necessarily. Just having those minutes playing in the middle, making his tackles, we're fine with that. Qatar with a 40, so I said in the Supercoach review video, it looks like he's really starting to feel a bit more comfortable in the grade. Not that I saw all the game. I'm basing this off one run where he just challenged defenders and got the numbers and put it through the hands, and Robert Jennings got over for a try. So yeah, I think he's a slow burn, but really good option to have if one of Cleary or Hines is down for a week. Pezzett, he was there in the loophole slot. We never quite activated it. It was a bit of a full-on weekend, so I didn't look at that too closely, to be honest. And could have made a few more points, obviously, having Buller in that slot, but we probably would have gone with Alamotti, I think, anyway. So as it turned out, it worked out okay. Sony Luke with the 21. So against the Tigers this week, we're probably hoping for a bit more output from him. Buller, 32 on debut, so a nice bit of coin made, which is nice. Talau, 18. Off the bench, we'll probably take that. He's named on the bench again this week, so but he's bottom dollar, and I don't think there's too many alternatives, so we'll sit on that. And Alamotti, 22, he's just doing what he can, I suppose, until the Dogs can get the troops back. And so in terms of trades this week, we're sort of at the stage where really we've got a fairly solid sort of core of the squad, so I don't know if there's too many trades I actually want to make, but we'll put Cook in for Grant, obviously, being on the bye. Warbrick needs to swap with Buller. I think we need to do a bit of a swing here. So Alamotti can play in the centres. Get Manu in. And so then we've got Jaden Campbell to trade out. So if we look to get him out, we've got 666k. So let's do some filtering. Wing fullback. So Marzu we can't afford. Latrell we can't afford. Maybe we should just do players we can afford. Save ourselves some drama. Oh, try that again. Where is he? There he is. Alright, so Zarko. Yeah, I think he's peaked in price. There's not a lot of value there. Walsh, yeah, again, he'll dip in price, only scoring 28, so not much value in that. The Hammer, we do like the Hammer. That could be an option to get him in. Turbo, stay away from him while he's injured, I think. Toto could do, but he's probably going to play Origin. Garrick, I mean, once we get into this stage, the guys are averaging 40. I think Tedesco's bottomed out in price, so that could be an interesting one to get Tedesco in. Kind of wish we held on to Sloan now. He's going good, making a heap of cash. And then after that, you can see it's really more pot options that we're banking on, hopefully making us some points. Yeah, so man, we could just keep going all the way, trying to pick a bottom dollar cheapie out, if we can find one. So one players we could have Tua Picky, I think it might be how you pronounce it, as like a handcuff for Nickel Clockstad. If he's out, this guy will be in. So that's one option. Kalen Ponga, yeah, again, if we're not worried about Origin. But I think we do need to worry a bit about Origin, given how many of our players will be in the team. So as we go down, it could go real cheap with Dunster. Don't know, don't like that. So unless doesn't look like anyone's getting a debut. Didn't think so from the team list, so that's fine. Hmm. So I guess the interesting one, and I have to do some more research on the injury, but not the cheapest anyway. I was going to say Corey Allen playing on the wing for the Roosters, but I thought he'd be close to the 300 to be honest. So probably not interested anymore. Tua Pilotu, yeah, that's not the worst shout. If he's named to play, obviously, uh, but hasn't set the world on fire so far. I guess probably like one of the overlooked positions for me in fantasy, just because the upside isn't really there. So I think maybe if I could get like a Kiraz would be really nice. That sort of ball runner type option. Obviously, Marzu is a bit too expensive for me. So where do we go from here? This is half the video. It's just me stumbling and thinking. I guess maybe we go the hammer. Probably the preferred option. I guess the other option, it's a bit wilder. Well, is if we make a second trade, and the player I want to bring in is Jake Granville. So he's making a bit of profit at the moment. So that player, that's an invalid trade. But he seems to be playing as like a like middle forward rotation at the moment, which is, for someone his price is going to mean he's making some good coin over the next few weeks. So I think we can trade out almost whoever we want. So who's on the chopping block? Maybe Warbrick. Because yeah, really, I guess we've got Nick Clocks there. We've got Ty Hours cover. So maybe we get it at Warbrick, and then that opens up 740k. So what can we get at wing fullback for that? So there we can pretty much take our pick. I think we can get Marzu, we can get Lockie Miller, which would be cool to have. Yeah, I think that's the only real difference. Guess anyone but Latrell, which is fair enough. So who are they playing? Maybe we get on Lachlan Miller. We've got Marzu in the Supercoach side, so just for something different. So I guess how the team shapes up for this week is a bit like that. Granville, welcome to the 17. Up, up, up. And I guess, out of the other guys that we've got, yeah, we'll probably have to play Luke, I think, which against the Tigers could be a good shout. I have a feeling they'll try to get him some minutes. Um, and yeah, he'll have that ability to do the business there. Might just swap them around for the purpose. And I mean, you could always run the loophole with. I know Panthers play the Tigers, so that wouldn't work because I've got Luke and Talau as my options. So just push them up. Push Peasant down because we can. Oh, can't get to him. Excuse me. So I guess with that money, I could have traded out Peasant rather than Warbrick. But I think Peasant will be handy to have through Origin with like Munster out and that sort of thing. Um, he'll definitely get a couple more games um, to to boost up there. And so captaincy, I'm gonna just switch around. So Cleary against the Tigers seems to be a no-brainer this week. Sharks playing the Cowboys. Cowboys aren't doing great, but I guess that's a good sort of option if you want to VC Hines in a super coach sort of environment and loophole. Doesn't quite work with Cleary, obviously, but that's okay. Um, yeah, so making those trades, I'm actually pretty comfortable with that. Granville in, and then we can have a big gun there. So obviously, once Clockstad comes back, it'll probably be a case of Mano will swing back to the centres, um, and Buller will continue getting a run if he keeps getting games there. And other than that, we're pretty happy with the side. We're obviously starting to not have a lot of flexibility in the forwards. So it might be something we have to consider. But if Granville gets middle status, that'd help in a couple of weeks. But we do have to wait a couple of weeks for that. But we'll just keep plugging away with that. In terms of Sportsdeck, it was the last minute decision. I haven't logged into that yet, but 986, which was top 1%, 28th overall for the round. So into 133 overall. Again, it's only out of 3,000, but just seeing that number does look pretty cool. So well done. So again, Harry Grant killing it, 89. Max King probably his lowest score for a while, but we do like Max King, so all is forgiven. Anyone else? Matt Burton with a 67. So the Bulldogs did square up surprisingly well against the Sharks. Probably talk about that a bit more in the Bulldog Project video. Val Holmes with the 70, so I didn't check his fantasy score, but if he scored that and Manu scored 70 here as well, so they're obviously level pegging, but we do like Joey Manu at the price. Ponga 46, so he did okay in this format. And yeah, so in terms of this week again, not looking to do many trades. We'll just have to bring Luke in. We'll have to bring Stefano in. He's not an option anymore in the reserve bench. So Taruva is the option. So we probably are a player short. Perhaps we could play Alamotti, um, but we'd have to look for alternative options for who to trade in. You know, might be one maybe. It sort of ruins our flexibility, but we've not got a great deal of that. Kepi out, and the man that I'm thinking of in the second row plays for the Cowboys. Jack Gajeski. So pretty cheap sort of option. He's on the bubble this week. Um, as you can see, he's only averaging 26 and playing 80 or 73 minutes on average. So he played 80 minutes last week. Doesn't scream, big buy, but could potentially outscore Alamotti this week. So that might be the play. We might also just trust the Alamotti. This could be the week that he goes off. All right. Yeah, switch them around. Yeah, so Sportsdeck is nice. You can do the VC option. Um, Hines playing the first game against Cowboys. If that doesn't work, we'll back Cleary in against the Tigers. Easy. All right, but yeah, that's fantasy and sports deck covered for this week. If you've got any suggestions, feel free to comment on where we can improve on this. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.